stand there by the gate of a boarded up carnival, of a boarded up carnival, and I can't open your locks with all that I've got, and here comes the snow. No, I can't open your locks with all that I've got and all that I'm not. So I got to go. Hey, I got
Lay your pretty head down, so you don't have to worry. This old world is cold and cold, but I know how to hold it down. I'm strong enough to hold you through the winter, mean enough to stare your demons down. Hard times put the shine into the diamond. I won't let that keep us away. I'm a riser, I'm a getter.
So hello everybody, welcome to the Red Clay Music Foundry. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. Really appreciate you being here, and thank you for having the courage to come on back and get normal, because that's what we're trying to do. It's been a hard year and a half, hard year and 8 months, however long it was. It's crazy for all of us, but in this business, I think we were the first to shut down and we are the last to get reopened. So it's a fun thing to be here with you. Thank you, and I know Shawnee's appreciative too. This is also a great, perfect time for me to say hello to you folks watching on the live stream at EOP Live on YouTube, and at Shawnee's Space Face Places, and at our Space Face Places, and in India, and in China, and in Hong Kong, and all over the world. I'm sure who's going to have people watching everywhere. Now, all of y'all out there, if you'll look at the bottom of your screen, there's a little thing there that says tip jar, and we will not be pissed off at all if y'all would like to just empty your pockets today into that tip jar, put a whole lot of money in there. Shawnee's going to be very appreciative. I'm going to be appreciative. It's going to be a fun afternoon. So thank you in advance for that, and I know you're going to do it. And you folks in the house, thank you. Now, we don't take a break and do an intermission on these. It's a little sort of like in the living room. Shawnee will be telling you some stories and chatting with you, and playing some great songs. I've been lucky to know him for a long time. He's one of my favorite song crafters and one of my favorite dudes in the business. And there's some real assholes in our business, trust me. There really are. But he's not one of them. He's really a good guy, and I'm lucky to call him a friend, and I love him to death. And what I'd love for you guys right now to do is sound like you're about 1,000 people and give a nice welcome to Shawn Mullins.
All right, thanks. You sound like 2,000. That's great. Thanks, guys. All right. It's great to see you here at the Red Clay tonight, and thanks everyone for tuning in out there and in the interweb world. Let's see here. There is a house down in New Orleans that they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor girl. Me, oh God, I'm one. My mother, well, my mother was a tailor, and she sewed these new blue jeans. And my sweetheart was a gambler, Lord, drinking down in New Orleans. Now the only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase, a set of suitcase, and a trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk. Cause he filled his glasses up to the brim, and he passed the cards around, and the only pleasure that he gets out of his own life is when he rambles from town to town. So go and tell baby, go and tell my baby sister, tell her not to do what I have done. Go and show that house down in New Orleans that they call the rising sun. Cause it's 1 foot on the platform and the other foot on the train. Going back to New Orleans, I'm gonna wear that ball and chain. Yes, I am. There in a house down in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor girl. And God, I know I'm one. Thank you. Thanks a lot. That one my mom used to sing to me when I was a baby, and somehow she figured out how to play it on the ukulele. I do not know how. But she played a bunch of different little instruments. She played accordion and piano and a little guitar and uke, and played drums. She was very talented and a school teacher, and she and her dad, my grandfather on her side, were definitely musical influences early on for me. Pappy, as I called him, and we all called him Pappy. He had a stand-in gig at the Fox Theater every Saturday night for about 30 years at the Egyptian Ballroom. He was in a house big band there that played in ballroom, you know, jitterbug style dancing and ballroom dancing and all that. And he played in a lot of different bands, but that one really comes to mind because it's such a long gig he got, you know. That's pretty cool to get a gig for that long. This one's by my good friend Larry John Wilson. I think it was the last tune he ever wrote. County Farm, 34. Jack Ball's laying dead down a cotton road. And Long John's running. Where's he gonna go? I bet you he goes down to the Aberle. His woman's down on a Aberle, so row him easy, row him slow, row him on cross to the Aberle, row him easy, row him slow, row him on cross to the Aberle. Before the boss man went down, I heard Long John say, he said, if a man's a man at all, he won't let himself be treated this way. Said if a man's a man at all, he won't let himself be treated this way. Hey, hey, now he's out there running a long chain on. I bet you he goes down to the Aberle. So row him easy, quiet and slow. Row him on cross to the Aberle. One more time. Row him easy, row him slow. Row him on cross to the Aberle. His woman's down on the Aberle. He's got a refuge on the Aberle. Thank you. Yeah, Larry John Wilson was a huge influence on me, and Eddie introduced him to me in about 1993. And he evidently just showed up one day at the attic, way back in the day. He pulled up in a Cadillac, an old Cadillac, you know, and parked there in the little cul-de-sac there between the courthouse and Eddie's, and they hung out and had a story. That's what they used to call it when they would have a little whiskey together. They'd call that having a story. And Larry John was just getting back into the music business. He basically left it for I don't know how long. I guess since probably the mid '80s. So it was quite a few years that he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And he had some great friends down near, down at Orange Beach, Alabama, Pretty Dokie, Florida. And so he spent years down there playing little gigs down there, but and kind of making ends meet and real low rent, you know, hanging out on the beach. But yeah, one day he shows up and he and Eddie booked him a gig at the attic, and that first night he came, Eddie called every one of us that were playing in the area, you know, that were all, you know, all the local songwriter types, and he said, "You guys better get here. You're foolish if you don't show up tonight, because this guy's unbelievable, you know." And so we all did, and I was never the same. I loved his stories, and I loved the soul. You know, he was the perfect mix between country and soul. You know, he was this wonderful, wonderful guy, and a dear friend, like a second dad in a way to me. I miss him very much. Let's see here. I guess I should play some of my own tunes. I start off with 2 cover songs, huh? Well, it says I'm in tune. Well, it's Friday night, and I'm back again. My old guitar and my trusty grin. And the best you don't come in here sighing. Tattooed on this heart of mine. From a dirty brown shag carpet stage, I sing my song and I pace the cage. Stuck up here in the twilight zone, staring out into the great unknown. There's an old Hank Williams figurine hanging by a guitar string. From the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with a clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time ain't changed around here in years, y'all. It's the same sad stories, same old tears. There ain't nobody wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. at the bar. It's designed to take you nowhere far. They got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. Just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there on a plaster wall. There's a faded sticker on the old payphone. It says, "Welcome to the great unknown." It's out beyond the understar. It's all up in there where you are. By some cosmic wind, we're blown out into the great unknown. Yeah, hopes and dreams and ash and dust. It all seems to either rot or rust. Souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. It's Friday night and I'm back again. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So yeah, it's been crazy times over the last bit over the year now, right? And it's so good to get back out and play live shows again. I've been enjoying doing these weekly shows in my house, but it's it's not quite the same as having a live audience staring back at you, and it keeps you on your toes a little bit, So hopefully you guys aren't judging me too hard, but it's always it's always easier in a way to not have a live audience. It's like it's a strange thing. You're like, well, I can't see them. But I gotta say that the folks that are watching out there and have been since last May, I think is when I first started doing them. Maybe April, actually. I think I did my first one with Chuck Cannon. We were up in Nashville at his place. And it's just been great, It's really helped me out a lot, just keeping my tools sharp and keeping me playing because there was no gigs. I mean, it was crazy. It was like going from really doing this full time to not having anything, and so I'm very grateful to people that tuned in and all those Sundays over the last year. Thank you guys, I appreciate you so much. And thank you guys for showing up to this tonight, and this is one of the larger crowds we've had here. I think we're still socially distancing, aren't we, or are we not? Not really? Everybody vaccinated, or at least, yeah. I know some people don't really think that it's a necessary thing. I don't know if that's a political issue. It doesn't seem like one to me. But I am, and I had heard from someone that it could change your DNA by doing that, you know? And it might be a good thing for a lot of folks. I just want to light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. Everybody's got a flat screen. Everybody's gotta be seen. Everybody wanna be famous. Everybody's gonna blame us. Everybody wants the real deal. Everybody wants to cop a good feel. Everybody want more money. Everybody wants a taste of your honey. I just want to light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. Everybody wants to pick your guitar, and everybody wanna ride in that fast car. Everybody wants a puff of your pipe dream. Everybody wanna lick of your ice cream. Yeah, the preacher wanna tell you how to live right. Your mama and your daddy got you uptight. Your lover gonna go and pick another fight. I just wanna keep you up all night. I just want to light you up, baby. Light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you higher. Yeah, this old world, it can bring you down and turn your smile into a frown, break your heart and make you sad, drive you stark, raving mad. But I just want to light you up, baby, like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you higher. Like a fire, I just want to turn you on, take you high. Thank you. Thank you much. Well, all of ye fallen, fathers and mothers, I hear you calling from deep in your graves. Songs about Jesus, songs about freedom, shackles and crosses, and the way blood behaves. Sailed the great ocean, sold down the river, white fields of cotton and green fields of cane. The sweat from our bodies, the tears of our children, were washed in the blood, and the promised land rain. Now brother fought brother on ground we now hallow, and sad hallelujahs all the angels they did sing, for promises buried in fields that lay fallow. The bell is too broken to let freedom ring. Are the dreams of the dreamers all misbegotten? Oh, 'cause mama's still crying for the dying and dead, and the war rages on, and the whole thing is rotten, and the blood we all bleed is the same shade of red. Thank you. Wrote this one with my good buddy Patrick Blanchard, and I'd run into this old guy many years before, probably the mid-90s, and he was in Portland, Oregon, and he hung out on Pioneer Square, and he used to do portraits for people, but he didn't have a proper home. You know, he actually would stay in. He'd raise enough money every day to stay in the mission, or and he was a Vietnam vet, and he still had his ID, military ID, and everything from back. It was crazy, man. But named Frank, really cool old guy, and but years later, you know, probably another 15 years went by, and something like that, and I ran into him again with Patrick, and we were there playing, and we had to do a radio gig for Kink FM, and then we were walking, and I was showing Patrick where I used to play before I could get a real gig there, and I would play there on Pioneer Square, and then they have these Saturday things where you can do busking and playing, but you have to sign up for that, and it's like you have to get like a permit or whatever. You used to could, but you used to have to do that. I don't know if it's the same anymore, because now there's people like living in tents up and down the streets there. I don't know if they got permits, but it's pretty weird. It's changed a lot. It's really downhill. The drugs have really taken over the city in a bad way. There were always a good bit of homeless there, but it's totally different now than it was even 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I'd say. But what a cool place it used to be, and hopefully they'll turn it around. But Patrick and I told him about Frank, and the next thing I knew, we saw Frank, and I don't know if he remembered me or not, but I remembered him, and so Patrick went back to the hotel after our show that night, and we wrote this down. And I love this song. It's called Sunshine. Well, Frank don't mind the rain. He kind of digs the sound. But Portland in November sometimes gets you down. When you're standing in a doorway trying to keep out of the cold, and no one's looking your way. You got no bills to fold. Frank, he don't like begging, but he could use a buck or two. Get a bed down at the mission, maybe sleep a whole night through, and dream about Maria, the girl that he once knew. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Too many days, dark and gray. We need a little sunshine. Frank touched down at Pioneer Square, June of '69. He thumbed here up the West Coast to get the war off of his mind. That's where he met Maria, and she made him feel so fine, singing, we all need a little sunshine. She was singing, we all need a little sunshine. All right, everybody needs a little sunshine. Love was free, so was she, singing in the sunshine, sweet sunshine. Frank wakes up at sunrise. He hears a distant train. He finds a piece of cardboard in the alley by the drain. He writes his message black and bold and here's why he came here. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Can't take another day. Dark and gray. We need a little sunshine. Yeah. Just a little sunshine. Oh, we all need a little sunshine. We all need a little Well, Frank don't mind the rain. He kinda digs the sound. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's see. I turned 17, spring of 1861. And I killed 20 men before I turned 21. 20 holes and 20 men, 20 holes they's buried in. There they lay in the cold red Georgia clay of Catoosa County. I can hear the screaming, I can smell black powder burning. The cannonballs flying and the Gatling guns are turning. 1,000 souls, 1,000 men, 1,000 holes there's buried in shallow graves in the cold hard Georgia clay of Catoosa County. And the blue and the gray paint the colors of their life, while the old men find a way to send the young men off to die. If I could, I would place $100 billion bounty on the hate that makes the war, that digs the graves of Catoosa County. Night falling on the hills, and a full moon comes a-shining. I can hear the whippoorwill and the coyotes go to whining. And all souls of all the men roll in the holes there's buried in. Blue and gray in the blood-red Georgia clay of Catoosa County. And the blue and the gray paint the colors of their life. And it's true, you can pray, but even God ain't saying why. If I could, oh, I would place $100 billion bounty on the hate makes the wars that dig the graves of Catoosa County. Thank you. Hey, let me take a second and plug my weekly sponsor for the live stream that I do. Really cool show coming out of Kennesaw right here in Georgia, and it's called Live at the Print Shop. It's a concert series, and I enjoyed doing it almost, I guess it's been about a year or so that I did my concert on there, and I actually am very pleased with it. Most of the time I do a live concert kind of thing, I have hard time liking it afterwards, like the way it looks or the way it sounds or something. And I'm real pleased with it. I think it looks great and sounds great. And they made me look pretty good, you know. But just to give you an idea of who's been on the show so far, I know that Raul Palo from the Mavericks just did it. And he's going to bring his band back through when he plays the Variety Playhouse later in the year, and they're going to do it with the full band, the Mavericks. If you guys don't know about them, they're one of the finest bands out there. They're out of Miami, Florida. It's kind of a Tex-Mex rockabilly fusion thing. It's so cool. Driving and Crying's done this show, and so has Kevin Kinney solo. And I might add that Driving and Crying's got a brand new album out, put out by Live at the Print Shop. It's a live record, and they tracked it all right there in my buddy Adam's basement. It sounds fantastic. You can get that, I believe, on Apple Music, so check that out. It's Driving and Crying's new record. The band Rehab. Angie Aparo, unbelievable singer and songwriter. He's one of my favorites. I love sitting next to Angie when we do writers we'll do the little writers thing sometimes, and he's so funny. And I'm in awe when I sit next to this guy as a singer. You know, I just sit there and go, my God, how is he singing these high notes? They're so high. It's like way, way on up there, you know. Not a chain smoker. I always tell him, man, you know, Angie, you're not gonna, I said, I can't sing as high as you can, but you can't sing as low as I can. Michelle Malone's done this show. David Ryan Harris, The White Buffalo, Mark Broussard, Sammy Ray, Dave Archibald, Jacob Bryant, Davin McCoy, and John Driscoll Hopkins, and also Daryl Scott, who's one of the finest around. He's done this show. He did it not too long ago, and it's a great, great show and a great. My buddy Adam does these interviews, so they cut an interview into it, and really candid, no BS, really good interviews. And also Tuck Smith did this show, so they're doing them every month. They've got another couple on there, so check it out on YouTube, and you can subscribe, and they need your support. They're trying to get this thing rolling and make it go into something bigger, and it's really great. I think you'll enjoy it. So thanks again to Live at the Print Shop for sponsoring my little live stream every week. Very kind. And well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. I thought he was an old man. Well, I'm 37. He said he'd been riding trains for 15 years and drawing portraits to keep his belly full of beers. It looked to me like he died and missed the plane to heaven. But he's a nice old guy for a younger man. He had a bottle of Mad Dog he held tightly in his hand. He waved it around a lot, trying to make his point. And I listened as he told his tales of wine and women and county jails. We finished off that bottle, smoked half a joint. And he said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled this salty sea. He turned his bottle up and down. I saw him lost and I saw him found. And he said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. I said, I've been traveling too, living out of my van from town to town, playing for tips and whatever records I could move. Said, I don't reckon I'll be making it big, man. It's hard to get rich off a tour, coffee house gigs. He said, yeah, buddy, but ain't it a blessing to do what you want to do? I told him, yes, I pulled out here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled this salty sea. We turned another bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. I said, it's getting kind of late. I better be heading down this interstate. Can I give you a lift? I'm headed to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm gonna sit right here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo, Montana Express. I might just lay here and dream my life away. Right here, watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years, my Lord. I'm gonna turn my bottle up and down. You can see me lost, you can see me found. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on that bitter old, looking just like Richard Brodigan. Just like him. Thank you. Thank you so much. Got some t-shirts out there. We're all sold out of CDs right now, which is kind of a good problem to have, especially when CDs don't sell. But however many we had were sold out, but we found a place that actually can manufacture CDs, and we're getting some more. And so I don't know when we're gonna have them, but we'll have them at some point in the next few weeks, hopefully. And but until then, and we've also got some new shirts coming. But we've got several shirts out there in the lobby if you like T-shirts and that kind of thing. Of course, if you want music, you can always check out the website. We're selling CDs and vinyl as well on the website. You know, this one, whenever I play this song, I actually, and I guess some of my songs are like that for me, and then some of them I don't have a direct visual memory with them. But this one I really do. The last one as well, I do. And on the same trip, this was on the same trip as I wrote Twin Rocks. I wrote this one, and it was about a 6-week tour around the country in the van, and playing mostly little coffee house type places. Good venues, though, you know, good venues, but not huge money making type things. Like in New Orleans, for instance, I played this place called the Neutral Ground, which supposedly is the oldest coffee house in the country. And it's been around, I don't know how long, but 100, 150 years, something like that. And they've always done music there, and so that was a neat spot I would play. But every now and again you would play a gig. You'll play a gig that isn't the best feel-good gig, but it pays better, right? And this particular one where I was playing in Jackson, Mississippi at a place called How's and Mal's. Anybody from Jackson or know that place? It wasn't a bad place. It was more of a if you were a national band, you would come through there and play there, and if you had a good following. And I'm going back to the early and mid '90s when I didn't have a following yet, and I was working my way up there and so they had 3 different rooms there, and then I played the one on top, which was, there was 3 levels, I think, from what I remember, and it was like this tiny little bar. And so, you know, maybe the size of this stage. I don't think so, though. I think it was about half the size, and there were usually just a couple of old guys in there trying to watch a ball game, you know. And so you felt really weird, you know, disturbing the ball game, and they really, if you played music in there, they wanted to hear something that they knew, you know, and that made sense. But that was the gig I was headed to, and my friend Mike West had told me about this place in Meridian, Mississippi. And it was the Jimmie Rodgers Museum. Now, Jimmie Rodgers, some of you may know, is at this point, I guess you could call him the grandfather or great-grandfather of country music. He was known as the blue yodeler, so he combined blues and country, and, one of the first country superstars, and really cool. He was a railroad guy, too. He worked as a brakeman on the railroad before he made it as a musician and singer and songwriter. But he's written songs that still get covered and recorded today. And I guess his timing was right around the 20s to the early 30s, if I'm not mistaken. But so my friend said, man, you got to go check out this museum to Jimmie Rodgers, because my grandfather would play Jimmie Rodgers records, and I got to where I loved that stuff. And I said, yeah, I'm going to find it. And he said, yeah, it's right downtown in Meridian. You can't miss it. Well, it was really hard to find. I couldn't find it. And Meridian's not a big place, And I finally, I was asking around everywhere, and no one even knew what I was talking about. I finally parked my van over on the side of the road, and a busy kind of downtown street there in Meridian, as busy it could be. And I went into a barber shop, and it was a black barber shop. And everyone in there, was, older black guys getting their hair, hair cut. And I was like, thinking to myself, they probably definitely won't know, I was just me being young and dumb, So I asked the barber, I just asked the whole room. I was like, hey, sorry to bother y'all. I want to know, I'm looking for a place called the Jimmie Rodgers Museum. And they all popped up, and they were all like, oh yeah, that's down at that park there. You just need to take a left there and go straight, and you're gonna run into this city park. It's like a big green area, and then you're gonna see a caboose. And where the caboose is, and that was one of the cabooses he worked on, that's where the Jimmie Rodgers Museum is. It was so cool. So it was a wonderful experience. I got to go in there, and there was a little lady in there that will tell you all about Jimmie Rodgers, and they have his little clothes. He was a little bitty guy. Have his little clothes in there, and very skinny man. And they had his Martin guitar that, God almighty, what would that thing be worth, And but anyway, so that was what brought me to Meridian. Now, when I got through at the Jimmie Rodgers Museum, and I really had a great time, it gave me lots of inspiration, and I was hungry, so I stopped at this Tasty Freeze, or something to that effect. I think it was a Tasty Freeze. I know it wasn't a Dairy Queen. It was something offshoot of that, and I got some lunch, and I was standing at the counter, and the woman behind the counter, the one next to her was working drive-through, of course, and I heard some kids go through the drive-through, and they were at the window there, and they were trying to get some free food from her, and they were buddies, They were like, hook us up, Billy Joe. And I'm thinking, oh my God, her name's Billy Joe. Wow, that's great, Yeah, I'm looking for a pen and paper, and so that's where the song, this next song started, and a lot of the stories made up, but it started to make me imagine the life of a teenager or a young person in that small town that was changing rapidly. Like industry had gone and farming had gone, and there wasn't much left to do. There was nothing to do, so anyway, and this one's called Ballad of Billy Joe McKay. Well, my name's Billy Joe McKay. I just turned 16 yesterday. I'm gonna get the nerve one day to get out of here. My mom passed on 3 years ago. Said it was cancer and it took her slow. And ever since then I've been saying no to my daddy and my tears. So if you come down our road, you gotta watch the bump. Right there across from the garbage dump. You can find me out back jumping on the trampoline. In the springtime we'll be skipping school. Man, you can't get much cooler than me and my friend Darlene. My granddaddy's hands are worn from 50 years of growing corn. Back behind the house where I was born before he had to sell it. My cousin Eddie, he got shot in the Walmart parking lot. Man, this little town's changed a lot. Said it hurt like hell. My name's Billy Joe McKay. It's a hot Mississippi summer Saturday. Daddy's on the front porch with Uncle Dave drinking Dixie beer. 16 years of being bored, and that window's open, forget the door. I hope there's some gas in the old man's Ford, 'cause I'm out of here. I'll go to Biloxi, maybe to New Orleans, maybe Atlanta. Thank you. Sweet, thank you guys, I appreciate that. One of my songwriting heroes will be coming in September. I believe it's September 11th, as I recall. And I'm not able to be here. We're actually going to be doing a riverboat cruise that weekend, which down the Mississippi River, which should be very cool. We did it last year, or actually the year before, and on the riverboat Twilight. But that same weekend, September 11th, one of my songwriting heroes will be right here on this stage. And I don't know if he's going to be solo or with the Heartless Bastards, his band. But I'm talking about, of course, James McMurtry. And it just doesn't get any better than James McMurtry. So if you can, come September 11th right here. I bet you can probably purchase tickets early on if you want. And is it already sold out? Oh, okay. Well, he needs to book another show then, doesn't he? Why am I bothering plugging him? He don't plug me. I'm kidding around. He's amazing, though. And I'll tell a quick, funny James McMurtry story. We were doing 30A Songwriters Festival a few years ago. Yeah. and Chuck Cannon was going on right before James, and so he mistakenly at the end of his he's playing the last chord of his song, and he's like, "Thanks y'all stick around for Larry McMurtry," and then he leaves, and it's a total mistake, and he leaves the stage, and he realizes what he's done, Larry McMurtry, of course, is James McMurtry's dad, a great author and screenplay writer, and so he leaves and he goes, and of course there's a little cubby hole where you stand with curtains around it, where it's not really a backstage, but there's very little room in there, and he like immediately comes up, and James is sitting there, tuning his guitar. And he's like, "James, I am so sorry." And Chuck felt terrible about this, and he told me this story. He said, "James, I feel so bad." He said, "But you and your dad are both such great writers, and I got it confused in my head, and you know how it can be on stage, but boy, there must be something in the water at y'all's house, because man, what writing, And he said he's not even looking at him at first. He's just kind of tuning like this. And when Chuck finally stops, McMurtry looks up at him and he goes, "That's all we're qualified to do." Another time I saw him, way back in the day, I saw him at a little club on North Highland on Amsterdam. What was that little place? The Red Light Cafe. And I saw him play with his band. That was the first time I'd seen him play with a band. And some guy in the audience was, the James McMurtry audiences are interesting because you've got the crowd that really gets it on a level of what he's talking about. And then you've got just kind of like, woohoo, and it's a mix, and it's a really interesting mix. I've never quite seen anything like that. And James had this one guitar that was a more of a custom guitar, but it looked like a Dan Electro guitar, which are kind of offshoot. They're not really there's not much to them, and you probably wouldn't have someone like James McMurtry playing a Dan Electro, but it did look like one. But clearly on the headstock it said Paul Reed Smith on the headstock, and then it had this weird retro shape to it. But he knew that this guy was raising hell the whole time. The guy wouldn't stop. Play this one, play that one, and just totally pissed drunk, and James gets that guitar on, and the place is just packed, and he puts the guitar on, and the guy goes, "Hell yeah, Dan Electro!" And McMurtry comes up to the mic and he goes, "This ain't no Dan Electro, it's a Paul Reed Smith. You don't know nothing." I could never do that to an audience member, but I just was like, wow, this guy is vicious, man. Yeah, I loved it. All right, so I don't have to plug James. He's already sold out. Well, it's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in, playing the Four Drunks and Me. But the beer is cold and the memories old. And the lights are so bright I can't see. And lonesome, I know you too well. Just like a bell, and you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you too well. time, it stands still. Sometimes it spins like a wheel whenever I see her around. Oh, but she doesn't know, and I'll never show. There's too many eyes in this town. And lonesome, I know you too well. You ring in my ears just like a bell, and you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Lonesome, I know you. And you're hollow like a dark, empty well. Oh, lonesome, I know you too well. Well, it's 3 a.m. and the snakes have moved in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I haven't had my guitars worked on in over a year, which is why I'm having to tune after every single song. But I'll eventually do it. I just got to thinking about it, early on the COVID thing. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want someone's grubby hands all over. Wiping it like I'm doing right now, wiping the nose and doing all this. And so I haven't gotten anybody to touch them, And but I need to. They need a little tune up here and there. Sharing with us what he knows. The shining eyes are big and blue. All around him water flows. This world to him is new. This world to him is new. To touch a face, to kiss a smile, yeah. New eyes see no race. It's the essence of a child. Essence. He's born to shimmer, he's born to shine, and he's born to radiate. He's born to live, he's born to love. Let's don't teach him how to hate. True love, it is a rock, smooth over by a stream, and there's no ticking of a clock that truly measures what that means. This thing we call our time. I heard a brilliant woman say, said, it's crazy how I want to try and capture mine. Think I love this woman's way. Think I love this woman's way she shimmers, the way she shines, the way she radiates, the way she lives, the way she loves, and the way she never hates. Sometimes I think of all this surrounding me. I know it all is being mine, but she kisses me and she wraps herself around me. She gives me love, she gives me time. Time I cannot change. So here's to looking back, way back. You know I drink a whole bottle of my pride and a toast to change, to keep these demons off my back. Just keep these demons off my back. I wanna shimmer, I wanna shine, I want to radiate, I want to live, oh I wanna love, I wanna try and learn now not to hate, not to hate. We're born to shimmer, we're born to shine, we're born to radiate, we're born to live, we're born to love, born to never hate. Oh, thank you. Oh, we got some tips that came in from EOP, and I don't have a list of mine. I thank you though if you've tipped from my tip jar on my Facebook thing. This is coming from the YouTube tip jar that Eddie and the Red Clay here put out. Trisha from Bless Your Heart Peanut Brittle. I love it. Smithville, Texas. Adele Arkey, I hope I've got that right, in the UK. Thank you so much. Carol Edwards. Doug Voken sent in a tip and says, thanks to Shawn for being there for us in internet land. Love these Sundays. Oh, thank you, Doug. I appreciate you. Ron Harper and Lori Snyder, Janice Robinson, Lisa Padden, Ann Collins. Thank you guys so much for your tips out there. I appreciate you. And Phil wins, right, Eddie? Eddie's probably back down there watching. Phil won the golf tournament. That's pretty awesome. And I got the history. I got to play with him once. It was unbelievable because I'm not even a golfer, and it's ridiculous, right? Like 20 years ago, I would get invited to these celebrity golf tournaments. I don't get invited to those anymore, but back then I did, and I would go, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know anything about it. You know, I didn't grow up with it, and so yeah, I got to play golf. And he was on my little team, and he showed me how to use the line on the ball for putting and everything. You know, he's so kind. You know, you would think that a guy like that wouldn't want to make time for someone that didn't know anything about golf. He was really, really cool. I remember I did one of those one time for, what's the bass player's name in REM? Mike Mills. He has a golf tournament that he does that raises money for a great cause. And you know, you do $100 and do an entry thing. And I don't know if it's a celebrity-based thing, but it's like a real big deal. And they do it, I think it's in Athens. And I'd never met him before. I was like, oh, I'd love to meet Mike Mills, you know, hopefully I can meet him, you know, and you know, I loved REM and still do. And so I'm getting up, I'm coming up to the table, and he happens to walk up, you know, and I lay my $100 down for the cause, you know, and I said, hey, Mike, I'm so glad you invited me to this, and, you know, Shawn Mullins, and he went, Shawn Mullins. Yeah, hey man, don't you like play every night? I was like, yeah, Mike, some of us have to. Wow. Felt like taking my $100 back. But he's that way. I've heard from a lot of people that he's just kind of a cut up and he'll bust you, you know. But I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, there's a tavern on the corner called the Milky Way, and you look so at home there, it makes me afraid. And after dark in at this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, a beautiful wreck you are, baby. Now all the plans that you had from 7 years ago, like all the promises you made, I watched them come and go. You put your keys in the car, but I would not drive it. With your hands on the wheel, looking barely alive. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm still sitting here waiting on the passenger side. You to make up your mind. For you to make up your mind. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck. I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. You make such a beautiful wreck, you do. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful What'd you say? Oh, okay. Well, good. I didn't like this battery anyway. So yeah, I got to get the battery changed in this guitar too. It doesn't look like it have a battery in it, does it? But it makes it electronic. I'm gonna switch anyway, so it works out. You wanna mute? Oh, good. Y'all think, if you can, put your hands together for Shalom and Corey up there. They've been so good doing sound and lights. Shalom's been working with Eddie for many, many years, and he always does such a great job. And I first met him when he was doing sound at Eddie's way back in the day. And I love the way Corey does lighting because he doesn't do too much. You know, one of the worst things you want when you're playing solo at a show is for a lot of flashing lights to be going on. It looks silly, right? And sometimes when I'm on the road, though, you know, the lighting guy, I have to really make sure during sound check they get it. You know, I'm like, hey, don't do a whole lot of, you know, changing up the colors and during, you know, it's just a little bit, you know. No fog machines, and you know, if you've got a full rock band going on, that makes a lot more sense, you know. Yeah, no pyro, and but you know, if I was up there, I'd be bored to death and doing Corey's job because, you know, it's real, it's like subtle kind of stuff, and so thank you, brother. I appreciate you and paying attention to the subtleties of what I do. And McMurtry, when he comes, he likes smoke machines and a lot of flashing lights. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, just like that. All right, is this one hanging in there? Oh, baby. Oh, good. Yeah, this one sounds like I've got a chorus pedal on it. Let's see here. Hold on one second. This one, I guess you could say, brought me to the big dance. You know, I'd be doing it either way, but I surely appreciate this song, and I appreciate those who helped push it to where it got. Started with Steve Craig and Leslie Fram from a radio station called 99X, way back in the day. It's just time for the shop. They got to go to the shop. It's just the way it is. Y'all been really good to me tonight. I surely do appreciate you. Thank you for being here live. And thanks to Eddie and the whole staff, the whole crew for having me back. And, you know, this has been kind of a residency I do every few months. I'll do a month of Sundays here, and I really enjoy it. And like I said, it keeps my tools sharp, and it gets us all out with some live music again. Many thanks to all of you for showing up tonight, and also for everyone to tune in around the world. Thank you so much. grew up with the children of the stars in the Hollywood Hills and the Boulevard. Her parents threw big parties, you know, everyone was there. Hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, Sonny and Cher. She feels safe now in this bar on Fairfax. And from the stage I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. Just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, and everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. But she still lives with her mom outside the city, down that street about a half a mile. And all her friends tell her that she's so pretty. She'd be a whole lot prettier, you know, if she'd smile once in a while. But you know, even her smile, it looks just like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel town, and everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. Told her, I said, I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. It seems like everybody's got a plan. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. But everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Y'all help me. Everything's gonna be alright. Won't you rockabye, rockabye. Keep it going. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, oh rockabye. And everything's gonna be alright. So rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. Say bye-bye, baby. Say bye-bye. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for coming. Makes me want to keep doing this, so thank you. Thank you so much.